Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unmanned. FAA hits 100,000 remote pilot certificates issued. FAA clarifies position on federal versus local drone authority. And Sedgwick County commissioners clash over Wichita Drone School. Hello, I'm Laura Hudson. Welcome to the Aero-News Network's Airborne-Unmanned program, a weekly news program covering all things unmanned in partnership with AUVSI, the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International. The FAA has reported more than 100,000 enthusiasts have obtained a remote pilot certificate to fly a drone for commercial and recreational use since the FAA's small drone rule went into effect on August 29, 2016. Under Part 107, the person actually flying a UAS must have a remote pilot certificate or be directly supervised by someone with such a certificate. The majority of drone pilots get certified by studying online materials and then passing an initial aeronautical knowledge test at an FAA-approved knowledge testing center. You should have no trouble if you study. The exam success rate is 92%. If you already have a Part 61 pilot certificate and have completed a flight review in the previous 24 months, you have the option to take a small UAS online training course provided by the FAA to obtain your certificate. It's important to remember that a remote pilot certificate is valid for 2 years from the date of the issue. Anyone who earned their certificate at the end of August or in September 2016 should review the certification renewal requirements and prepare to take recurrent training or testing. In the next Unmanned Minute, let's take a brief look at a few of the shorter stories that are making the rounds on the unmanned vehicle communities. In celebration of Intel's 50th anniversary, the company flew 2018 Intel Shooting Star drones over its Folsom, California facility, setting a new Guinness World Records title for the most unmanned aerial vehicles airborne simultaneously. Also in celebration of Intel's 50th anniversary, the company honored employees and their families by flying 500 Intel Shooting Star drones over its corporate headquarters in Santa Clara, California. Airbus and International SOS, the world's leading medical and security risk services company, has signed an MOU to jointly study the viability of using aircraft or unmanned systems to deliver medical cargo and supplies. Under the agreement, Airbus will help define and install reliable aircraft or unmanned aerial medical cargo deliveries as a part of International SOS Med Supply Services. The studies will look into both urban to rural and ship-to-shore deliveries. Secretary Elaine Chao has selected Mayor Wade O'Troxell, Ph.D. of the City of Fort Collins, Colorado, to serve on the FAA's Drone Advisory Committee. The DAC represents a cross-section of technology and aviation leaders, providing a forum to provide the FAA with advice on key drone integration issues by helping to identify challenges and prioritize improvements. Mayor Troxell is the only elected city official appointed to the committee. UAVOS Incorporated has completed a flight test of the solar-powered unmanned SATI aircraft, designed to perform monitoring and aerial photography during daylight hours. The new unmanned aircraft has demonstrated high performance, successfully completing a non-stop 10-hour mission for aerial photography of the surface landscape, with a payload of a 21-ounce mirrorless camera. That was our Unmanned Minute. Now back to the rest of the news. The FAA has released a statement concerning its stance on the ability of local governments to pass drone regulations in their jurisdictions. According to the agency, Congress has provided the FAA with exclusive authority to regulate aviation safety, the efficiency of the navigable airspace, and air traffic control, among other things. State and local governments are not permitted to regulate any type of aircraft operations, such as flight paths or altitudes or the navigable airspace. However, these powers are not the same as regulation of aircraft landing sites, which involves local control of land and zoning. Laws traditionally related to state and local police power, including land use, zoning, privacy, and law enforcement operations, generally are not subject to federal regulation. Cities and municipalities are not permitted to have their own rules or regulations governing the operation of aircraft. However, as indicated, they may generally determine the location of aircraft landing sites through their land use powers. The DOT Integration Pilot Program will provide the FAA with insight on how to best involve local jurisdictions and the integration of UAS into the airspace in a way that also alleviates their concerns. On May 9th, the Secretary of Transportation announced a selection of 10 state, local, and tribal governments as participants in the pilot program. 2 Sedgwick County commissioners are at odds over the placement of a drone school at Cook Airfield southeast of Wichita, Kansas. Commissioner Richard Ranzau recently accused colleague Dave Unruh of working privately to squelch the program to train drone pilots at the private airfield east of Derby, Kansas. Unruh called Ranzau's comments misdirected. He said that he would have preferred that K-State work with Wichita State University on the program, rather than Butler Community College. The program is designed to allow students to earn an associate's degree in drone systems. K-State will provide the actual flight training, while Butler College offers a general education courses at its Rose Hill campus. The full 5-member commission has generally supported the program, but the disagreement cropped up over a $70,000 paving project to improve the dirt road that leads to the airport. Unruh and Commission Chair David Dennis favored waiting to pave the road until after a new flight facility is completed, saying construction vehicles could damage the new road. Well, that's our program for this week. In addition to this program, our Airborne-Unlimited episodes covering the entire aviation and aerospace world are streamed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and tweet us. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. And more information on the innovative world of all things unmanned at auvsi.org and airborne-unmanned.net. We'll see you next week.